Hi everyone. In our last video, we talked about various different methods by which we can handle the authorization pop-ups, and we also discussed or we also implemented one of the approaches wherein we were bypassing the authorization pop-up by directly embedding the username and the password inside the URL. In this video, we will be implementing the second method wherein we are not bypassing the authorization pop-up. We will be handling the authorization pop-up just like a manual user do. Let me try to give you a small demo on what our script will be doing. Yeah, so this is the URL. When we navigate to this particular URL, a pop-up gets displayed on the screen wherein we are required to enter the username and the password. So we are going to write a script, that will put in the username, then press the tab key. Then it will be putting the password, then again press the tab key, and as the focus gets shifted to the sign in button, or the sign in button gets highlighted, then it will be pressing the enter key, and after it has pressed enter key, it will try to search for this particular element, and if this particular element is found successfully, that means the user login is successful. If this is not found, that means the test has failed and a user has not, user was not able to log in. And this is the same project that we had created in our last video. So this time what I will be doing is I will be creating another function, public static void handle popup handle popup using robot class. So again, it will be accepting the URL, the username, as well as the password as the parameters, and this is the method that we'll be using this time. So I'll just be copying the basic WebDriver code from my previous function. The code that is responsible for automatically managing the browser driver binaries and launching the browser and setting the implicit weight, maximizing the window, and navigating to the URL. So we'll not be modifying the URL like we did in our last method or in our last video. And right after we navigate to the URL, we'll write pop-up handling logic over here, and after that we'll be quitting. So we'll be closing all the pages that were, or all the browser windows that were opened by this particular WebDriver. So to handle the pop-up, what we'll do is we'll be making use of systems clipboard. We will first copy the username, and we'll copy it to the systems clipboard, and then from the systems clipboard we will be pasting it to this particular field by pressing Ctrl V. Then we will be pressing the tab key, and again we'll repeat this process for the password as well. That we will be copying the password text field. We will be copying the password text into the systems clipboard, and then from the systems clipboard we can just perform a Ctrl V so that the password gets typed over here, and then we will be pressing tab key, and then we'll be pressing this we'll be pressing the enter key so that we are able to sign in. Okay, so let me just write down the steps that I'll be following. So to do this, what I'll be doing is copy username to clipboard, and then I'll be pressing Ctrl V on the pop-up. After I have done that, I'll be pressing tab key so that the control gets shifted from username to the password field, and then I'll be repeating these steps again. Copy, instead of username this time it will be password, so copy username, copy password to clipboard, pressing Ctrl V again, pressing the tab key. After I have entered the password and I have clicked on the tab key, you can see the focus will be on the sign in, so I can just press enter key after that, so that we can move on to the next page, and we can verify whether or not we have logged in. So this is the sequence of steps that I'll be performing. So you can see that we are copying username and password to a clipboard. So I'll just be writing a small function which accepts a text string, and what that function will do is whatever text we are passing to that particular function, it will be copied to the system's clipboard. Okay, so let me just quickly try to create a method. So public void, I'll make it static, public static void copy to clipboard, and whatever I want to copy, I can pass that in the form of a string. Okay, so we'll be making use of the toolkit class, and we'll also create an object of type clipboard. So java.awt, so java.awt.clipboard.data transfer.clipboard. So yeah, get toolkit dot get default toolkit dot get system clipboard. So this is the one, and we will then be setting the contents of the clipboard, and we'll be setting this text. We'll be copying this text to the system's clipboard. So new string selection text, and owner has to be null. So what this method will do is if we pass xyz to this particular function, after this method has executed, xyz gets copied to the system clipboard, and once it has got copied, after that we'll be performing the control V option. We'll be pressing the control V button on the pop-up, so that whatever is copied on the clipboard gets pasted on the username field. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do here is just call that function copy to clipboard, and what I want to copy is the very first thing, that is username. So after this function is executed, username gets copied to the clipboard. Now I have to somehow press the control V. So for pressing the keys, we'll be making use of the robot class object. So robot, again, it is a part of java.awt package. Robot is equal to new robot, and then okay, I'm getting an exception. AWT, okay, we'll take care of these exceptions. Okay, let me just add a throws declaration. Yeah, robot equals to new robot, and what we'll be doing is robot dot key press. So we'll be pressing the control key, and then we'll be pressing the V key. So first we'll be pressing the control key. So press key event dot control, V key control, and after I have pressed the control, I need to press the vk underscore V key. So this is the key that I want to press. So after pressing, I also need to release these keys. So since vk underscore V is the last key that we pressed, so we'll be releasing that key first, and then we'll be releasing the control key. Yeah, so these 4 lines of code, what it tries to do is it will be simulating control V operation on whatever element that is currently active on the screen. So this is the first step, that is we copied the username to the clipboard. This is the second step. We pasted whatever is present in the clipboard, we try to paste it on whatever element which is currently active on the screen. After we have done this, we have to press tab key and again repeat this entire process for the password. Okay, so to press the tab key again, I have to write vk underscore tab, and I have to release it as well after pressing. So release. And I have to repeat this entire thing again for the username, for the password. So I'll be copying the password to the clipboard, and again I'll be pressing Control V, and I'll be releasing the Control V, and then I'll be pressing the tab key again. And after I have pressed the tab key again, at the end I have to click on the enter key. So for the enter key, I can just write this one, vk underscore enter, and after pressing I have to release that key also. After I have done this, we can then try to find the element again. We can then try to find the same element that we did last in our last video, or in this last method. So let me just take you to that element again. Admin. If I click on sign in and Control Shift I, this is the element. And if I try to create an XPath for this one, $x star contains text. Okay, contains, yeah. So I can see that we have one element in the results. If I press enter and if I hover over the element, I can see that it is getting highlighted. So yeah, I can try to find this particular element, and if I'm able to find it, that means the user login is successful, otherwise it has failed. So what I'll do is, again I'll be using this particular thing, web element is equal to driver dot find element by dot xpath, and this is the xpath that I'm using. And when find element gets invoked, so under the hood, what WebDriver does is WebDriver tries to find an element which can be located by this xpath, and it will keep on trying to find this particular element until a maximum timeout of 15 seconds that we had set as the implicit wait. And even after this timeout has expired, and if that particular element is not found, in that case no such element exception is thrown. So we'll try to just catch that particular exception. We'll put this entire thing in the try catch block, catch no such element exception, and we are going to import it from OpenQA.Selenium package. And what we'll do is we'll just be writing user login field, and if it is able to find, we'll just be writing user login past. And I'll also be adding a quick wait so that wait, hard-coded wait, so that the script execution does not get over very quickly, and we are also able to see that the user has logged in successfully. So yeah, so let me just have a look at this particular function again. So we are passing the username, we are passing the URL, username and password. We have initiated the WebDriver, created a Chrome driver instance. We have set the implicit wait, maximized the window, navigated to the URL. After navigating to the URL, I'm copying the username to the clipboard, then pressing Control V. pressing tab, copying the password to the clipboard, pressing Control V, again pressing tab, and after pressing tab I am pressing enter key, and now the next step that I am performing is I am trying to find an element that contains this particular path. If such an element is found, the control remains inside the try block. It moves on to the next statement in the try block, which will be this one, user login passed, and then we'll wait for 5 seconds and I'll quit, or I'll close all the browser windows opened by this particular driver. If the element is not found, no such element exception will be thrown, and this particular line gets executed and will also be printing the stack trace. Okay, so let me just try to save it and run this one. So the browser has launched, it has maximized, and see, it has very quickly entered the username, password, and the enter key, and it has, see, everything has happened so quickly that nothing was visible to our naked eyes. So what I'll do is I'll try to add some hard-coded weights over here so that we are able to see that our script is actually entering the username and the password in that particular pop-up itself. So what I'll do is I'll try to add delays after each operation. For example, after pressing Control V, what I'll do is I'll just add a robo.delay of 2000 milliseconds or 2 seconds. And then after pressing tab also, I'll be doing the same thing. Again, after pressing Control V, I'll be putting a delay of 2 seconds, and again, I'll be putting a delay of 2 seconds. I'm adding these delays just to let you guys see that our code is actually putting in the username, then pressing the tab key, and then putting in the password, pressing the tab key, and then clicking on the enter. And after it has done that, it actually tries to find the element that comes on the page after successful login. So let me just try to run it again. See, it has entered admin, waited for 2 seconds, again entered password, waited for 2 seconds, pressed tabbed, and yes, after pressing the tab, it clicked on enter key, and this is the page that gets displayed, and it tries to find that element after the successful login, and it was able to find the element, and hence it printed user login passed. Suppose for example, if I enter an incorrect password, for example, I just write ABC over here. So in this case, what is going to happen is we will not be able to log into the page, and hence the script will fail at this particular point. It is going to throw a no such element exception, and it will be caught inside. It will be the control will go inside this particular cache block, and it will error out, and it will also print the stack trace, and it will quit ultimately. So let me just try to run it. Run as Java application. Admin, and it will just paste ABC, and it will try to hit enter now. And see, the website did not allow the user to go to the first page. So in the backend, what is happening is it is actually waiting for the implicit timeout period, that is the 15 seconds, and yeah, so you can see that user login has failed since the script was not able to or the driver was not able to find the element having this particular XPath before the timeout actually expires. So it throws no such element exception in the end, and the script fails. So I think this is what is expected. This is the expected behavior, and we have been able to successfully handle the authorization pop-up. Yeah, so let me just try to run it on a different browser. So let me just make some quick modifications for the same. I'll be running this particular code on Firefox this time, and yeah, I'll be entering the correct password. Let me try to run it on a Firefox browser. So the browser has launched and it has entered admin. It enters the password, and yeah, so it was able to handle the pop-up and go to the very first page and see user login pass is the message that gets printed over here. So I hope things are a bit clear now. We have implemented this method also in this particular video. In the next video we will be discussing, or will be implementing handling of the authorization pop-up using the CDP Chrome Devtools protocol, by using Selenium 4, and this only works for the Chromium based browsers like Chrome and Edge. It will not be working on the Firefox, so that's why I kept it at the end. This is a new feature which works only with Selenium 4 API, and it will not be working with Selenium 3 API. So we'll be discussing more about it in our next video. I hope you got to learn something new from this video. So thank you very much.